I don't know why I do this, but I always want to make a video really late. But what I was want to say was that we I've done some debunking in the past of various false doctrines and false conspiracies and false news reports, and there's a lot of false stuff out there. I mean, I was kind of doing a lot of that, and it was a full-time job. And so that's what I was going to say. It is a full-time job. It takes a lot of work to debunk something. You would be really surprised. First of all, you have to be very accurate. So you have to first make sure that what you are debunking really is false. So you have to know everything about it. And it just reminded me of a Mythbusters did a debunk of the lunar landing. And they're saying they'd never been to the moon, and that was a lot of work for them to do that. They had to set up a fake set, and they had to understand everything. There's so many different dynamics in reality, like what kind of lens is being used, what's the surface of the moon like, what was the actual surface. I mean, just because you look at a picture of something doesn't mean that it's telling you everything that's going on there. What you see in a picture doesn't necessarily describe what's going on, because it's only a one-dimensional portrayal. And so you see shadows and you see this and that and the other thing. You can't measure that unless you know in advance. Like if you know exactly what that lunar surface is like, and then they put an object on there, you can say something about that object based on the shadow. But there's so many things you got to understand, and so they went through a lot of work. I think it was one of their most difficult projects that they did. And so I did something. I did the China. There's a China Mirage video. It was like they said this. It looks like a city has appeared on the top of a lake. Just a mysterious city has appeared, and they thought it was Project Blue Beam. This government was going to be perpetrating a false rapture event to fool us and stuff like that. And then there's 9/11, which I haven't really fully debunked that one, but I've looked into it. And then there's, that was just a false flag incident. I don't know. So far from what I've seen, there's a lot of garbage out there that I've seen. Oh, and then Comet Elenin. Remember Comet Elenin? They said that was going to be the end of the world. And it was so popular among Christians that it was just driving me up the wall. I was like, you guys have got to come to your senses, people, and let's stop spreading garbage. Let's look into these facts. Well, I just now watched a video by PJ Media and on YouTube, and he is talking. I recommend this. Look this up. It's called "The Great Unlearning: How Society Became So Stupid," and he addresses. Kind of tries to provide some kind of an explanation as to what's going on, and it reminds me of a song. I don't know if it's by Pink Floyd or it's by one of the guys in Pink Floyd. It was Roger Waters, I think, did a song called "Amuse." I'm not a big fan of Roger Waters. I like early Pink Floyd, but I'm not a big fan of Roger Waters that much. But he did a song called "Amuse Themselves to Death," and this was back in the '80s, and I was like, that's ridiculous. We're not amusing ourselves to death. But now I'm starting to think it's true, because he was saying, like if the Titanic had sunk today, everybody would just be sticking their cameras up trying to catch this and say, oh, I can't wait to put this on YouTube. And I'm a little conscious. I've got a CPAP mask and self-conscious about this. There's a CPAP mask, and sometimes it leaves a red mark, so that I got to explain that just to feel good about it. That I don't have this sore or something. So that's something that I'm just wanting to attest to, because from my experience, and I challenge you, to do critical thinking of things. When you see a video that is talking about some strange claim, to really do your homework and don't just base it on what they expect you to feel about it. Like if someone says, "Oh, isn't this outrageous? Check this out." Don't take that suggestion. Actually do some homework. And if you don't have any really strong reason to believe it's true, don't share it. make sure you don't like or share anything on Facebook or on YouTube or anything else that is not really it's an extraordinary claim, or it's something that is rhetorical in nature. It's not really factual information. You would be surprised how much I think that when the Lord comes, that I think we need to really be careful, because I think Christians are spreading falsehood, and they're spreading damaging information and not knowing about it. And I think there's a responsibility uh, as a Christian witness to not be spreading lies. And it seems like Christians don't seem to understand that. It's like they believe that as long as people believe the gospel, it doesn't matter how you get them to there. But I'm thinking, wait, the Holy Spirit's a spirit of truth, and the only way people can get saved is through the calling of the Holy Spirit, through God. And they can't, there's no way they can know the truth by being tricked into knowing the truth. You have to be honest about it. And it's so the gospel is truth. And if you proclaim a gospel and you're spreading about a bunch of garbage out there, shame on you, really, shame on you for doing that. It really makes me mad when I try to confront these people and they continue to just justify spreading things they know are false. I mean, I've done this. I've confronted somebody. They said, well, we don't know if it's really going to happen or not, but we're telling people about this just in case it really does happen, or we're telling it just to let people know, hey, Jesus could come at any minute and stuff. Well, the things you're saying are not factually true. Comet LNN has come and gone, and nothing happened as a result of it.